long ago in a kingdom far, far away, or so the story goes, we find our champion Garen at the local pub enjoying some graggy ice after a hard day on the fields of justice. Eventually, Garen meets a fair maiden who he believes is Britney Spears, and the two enjoy an evening full of joking, laughter, and drinking when Garen finally works up the nerve to ask Britney back to his house to top off the night with a little lust and a little pleasure. And so, 9 months later, we find our champions at the hospital preparing to give birth to their first child. After what seems like an eternity, Brittany finally shits out a son who Garen names Hecarim. Upon hearing the news of the childbirth, the asshole Prince Jarvan decides to see this child for himself, and so heads to the hospital. But upon looking at Hecarim and seeing how hideous of a creature he is, he makes a decree. "Holy shit, that's an ugly baby. You, Hecram, are henceforth banished to Summoner's Rift to live in the jungles and rid the forest of the evil creatures that spawn there, never to live among the kingdom of men." And so it was, with a heart filled with sadness, Hecram retreated to the jungles of Summoner's Rift to live out his life in solitude. However, Hecram wasn't alone for long, as he discovered a small camp of wolves, who took pity upon Hecram and raised him as one of their own. However, upon becoming a man, Hecram knew that he must obey the prince's orders to slay the creatures of the forest if he ever hoped to gain his favor and return to the kingdom of men. And so, with a heavy heart, Hecram slew his adopted family. But this was an enchanted forest, and no matter how many times you slew the creatures, they always returned. And so, Hecram was doomed to repeat the cycle of killing the family he loved time and time again. After many years with a heavy heart and a burdened soul, Hecram realized he was never going to win the prince's favor or return to the kingdom of men, and so he made a decision that would forever change his life. And so, the very next day, Hecram snuck to Bottom Lane and took refuge within a bush. He might not be able to live within the kingdom of men, but surely he could watch the kingdom of men. And as he watched, Hecram realized that he must be staring at the most beautiful maiden in all of the land, and Hecram knew that he was in love. And so, day after day, he returned to the bush to watch the maiden from afar. But little did Hecram know that thanks to a well-placed ward, that the fair maiden was also watching him. And so the maiden devised a plan to arrive the very next day at the bush early and surprise Hecram. Arriving at the bush the next day, Hecram was surprised to find the fair maiden as she leapt forth, demanding to know why he had been watching her. "I am sorry. I only wish to look upon your beauty. I never dare get closer, as I was worried you would run." Taken aback by this, the fair maiden was not expecting such an answer, and soon her and Hecram began to talk, and agreed to meet again, and again, and again. And as the days went by, the fair maiden found something curious. Though Hecram was hideous, she was beginning to fall in love. And so, the fair maiden ran off to tell her bitch friend Vane all about it. However, Vane, being a bitch, went and told the asshole Prince Jarvan, who she knew was also in love with the fair maiden. Enraged by the news, Prince Jarvan locked the fair maiden into a tower and decided to meet Hecram the very next day at the bush and surprise him, where he would end Hecram's life once and for all. And so, as Hecram arrived to their meeting place the next day, he was surprised to find that it was Prince Jarvan awaiting him, and not the fair maiden. "I heard you've been talking to my bitch." "Oh, Prince Jarvan, I don't understand. Where is the fair maiden?" "She's locked in my tower, and that's where she's going to stay. I banished you to the jungles, never to return to the kingdom of men, and you disobeyed me. Now you're going to pay for that with your life, but mostly for fucking with my bitch. I understand. I will fight for love." And so the two began to battle, and though it was a long and hard-fought battle, Jarvan had far superior combat skills, and eventually slew Hecram. But as Hecram died, he whispered the fair maiden's name. Meanwhile, back at the tower, the fair maiden could feel her love's soul slip from his body. Unable to cope with his loss, she threw herself from the tower to join him in the afterlife. Prince Jarvan eventually returned to the castle to find Vane awaiting him.
"Oh, my lord, you've returned. You must have slain the hideous creature."
"He's dead."
"I have bad news, my lord. The fair maiden, she's thrown herself from the tower."
"Oh, fuck it. You win some, you lose some. What do you say you and I go up to my bedchamber and wrestle around in the bed a bit?"
I would like that very much, my lord."
And so, Jarvan and Vane lived happily ever after. Hey guys, this is Near Review from Sightstone. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of silliness. If you did, remember, please subscribe for future content, give us a thumbs up, and share our videos with your friends.